But I believe that the heinous way that George Floyd was killed, that was the fuse. That was the explosion.
A lot of people saw their fathers in the face of George Floyd, or their brother in the face of George Floyd. And
without the 2020 protests, we wouldn't even be having the conversation the same way that we are at the state or even at the local level.
If they want to keep hearing us chant, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, they better start changing some laws.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
But during when Martin Luther King was marching and back when everybody else was marching, the main people who were marching were actually teenagers and younger people, young adults. Reading about those stories, I see myself in them, and I see how passionate they were to change the situation that they were in.
But I do remember just asking her, hey, you want to go, with me? And so she went, and ever since then, it became her own passion. Because one of the things I told her was that a lot of people don't know the movement of the 60s wasn't the adults. It was the children. It was the teenagers and the young adults. Their parents still had to go to work because they still had to maintain the home. So who you saw being hosed down, bitten by dogs, arrested, those were the teenagers. Those were the young adults. So this movement is very important in having the youth and the young adult involved. And it can also be greater than what the movement of the 60s was. And I see that. And we need that. That's the lifeline of the movement.
It helps bring us closer together, and I feel like marching and seeing all my brothers and sisters, related or not, marching together and actually wanting to make change and actually put action to the change we've always wanted is a good thing. And seeing George Floyd spark up the entire world the way that he did was a wake-up call to me that you're never too young to fight for change. That's the inspiration that I got from seeing George Floyd's video.
Every time we see these images of someone losing their life to, in a clearly preventable situation, it causes a lot of pain. It causes a lot of trauma. It reminds all of us that, we all have each other. I remember being on Sherman Boulevard the night Seville Smith was killed, and it caused an uprising, and seeing them in the most hopeless state that I've ever seen folks in my community in that much pain. To be in this position in 2020 and seeing that people are taking that pain and they're turning it into power, they're taking that pain and they're turning it into progress for the chance to fight for a better future. There's no different feeling than feeling like we actually might be able to change a system that has been so stubborn, that has been resistant to what we've been calling for to change for quite some time.
What it did was cause white people to say, dude, this is ridiculous, this is stupid, I'm with you all. And so we have white people in the movement that have been with us every step of the way from day one.
Different communities have a role, especially realizing that in the fight for racial justice and addressing police accountability, that honestly is a white problem. It is an issue when you handle it in its rawness. We need white communities to realize that they have perpetuated and enabled this issue to be at the level that it's at. And so to see individuals in white communities and black communities and brown communities and everywhere in between come together, even difference in class and
Black Lives Matter!
And social status for folks to get out there, it was important to be able to see that and to feel that.
Going to these marches, it's like to see that people really care. It's heartwarming to see that, and to know that we're not by ourselves as black people. We have people who do care about us.
It's not a mystery that Black people have been suffering ever since they've been brought here to the United States. Us as allies, we are supposed to be the ones to really step up.
Don't arrest me! Arrest the police! Arrest the police!
It's always worth it fighting for justice. At the end of the day, it always is worth it. And the protests of 2020 have evolved where you still have people, who have not let go of that fire, that same vigor, that passion
of the new Milwaukee
to change our community and to get the future that we know that we deserve, that will keep our community safe, that will hold our systems accountable, that will create a better Milwaukee, a better Wisconsin and country.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. I can't